Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Let's Build video. What are Let's Build videos about? Well, basically I take a model kit and I show you how to put it together. If you suffer with dyslexia or have difficulty reading instructions, this is a visual way to help you. If there's anything wrong on the kit, like on the sprue, there's things are numbered up wrong, or if there's any parts of the model where you need to be careful when cleaning or careful when gluing or have to glue it a certain way, this is a visual way to help you. If you're interested in starting a new army, or use a model in the army range that you have, that you want, and that you think the kit's going to be too difficult to build, again, this is a visual aid to show you how easy this stuff is. For all my regulars here, guys, I would love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. So what am I building today? As you would have seen in the thumbnail, we're building this monstrosity. Yeah, Angron, Demon Primarch of Khorne, for the World Eaters. Now, I will refer to him as Angry Ron from time to time, as he's been coined. It's an absolute beast of a model. Now, before I even open the plastic up, let's have a look at this. There's some variants you can have. So there's different shoulder pads by the looks of it. This is what it's saying to me. These are variants. So it's something to do with his head. His mouth can be closed. His mouth can be opened. There's bits and pieces here and there. Stuff here and there. I mean, this doesn't make no. I don't understand this yet because I haven't looked at the kit. But the face, I can see there's two different faces there, which is amazing. So I'm going to pop this open and we'll get the sprues out and we'll start having a look. Right, this is a serious kit, guys. Anyway, here's his stat line. So he's one of these models that when takes damage, he gets slower and has less attacks. But he's 2+ hit in combat, 2+ hit with shooting. Doesn't have any shooting, so as far as I know. He's strength 9, toughness 7, 18 wounds, 12 attacks, leadership 10, 2 upward armor save. He would have an invulnerable save as well, I know that for a fact. But he's 12 attacks is a little bit misleading on this printout here because his weapons have 2 different profiles, and one of them gives him like basically triples his attacks. I think it's 36 attacks with doing that weapon profile. So but the weapons he has on here is his sword and his axe. There's 2 different profiles here. One of them he gets +5 to his strength, which makes him insane, -4 AP and D3 +3 damage. And the other one is the strength of the user, which is 9 -3 AP and 1 damage apiece. But I know he gets something where it basically gives him an extra 2 attacks per attack or something like that, so it ends up with 36 attacks at full strength. But anyway, those of you that have the World Eater Codex, you have a look and you drop a comment below and let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like the Rogel Dawn battle tank, this is a massive, massive kit. I mean, wow. Absolutely wow. I'm getting a bit carried away with myself here. So the first thing we do, as always, we're going to look at tools needed. So multi-line scraper, you can use a blade or a hobby knife or a blade of some description. If you're using a blade, be careful. If there's a chance that someone's going to come in and disturb you, let them know you're using a blade so they don't accidentally scare you. Make sure I've got a blade in your hand. Clippers, most useful part of our kit that we can have. I have sanding sponge, which I think I'm going to need on this, which is basically sponge with sandpaper on the side. You can get this from a hardware shop. I believe it's in the painting section or something like that. It's a plastic kit, so we have plastic glue. We also have super glue at hand just in case. Now, for everyone that's new here, what we do now is we have a look at the kit itself, and what we do is we can look and see what we can see and work out what we can work out to save us stressing over, especially something like this. Just 2 massive sprues. I can't even get the sprue fully on camera, but that's how big it is. So anyway, the first one we look at, we can see the legs, okay, and they're hollow, so there's going to be, there should be 4, yeah, there is 4. obviously they're going to go together to make a leg. Got the body. We've got all this crazy stuff happening. That's his backpack. I was meant to use backpack. That's his basin, which is, if you look at that, look at the detail and the skulls everywhere. Would you expect anything less? I'm really impressed with this axe. Yeah, I'll flip it over to the other side. Really impressed with that. That's an amazing, amazing weapon. The size of it is just, oh. There's one good thing about this kit. Most of the small pieces are only small pieces. The rest of it's all big pieces. But there's armor plates. There's piles of skulls. There's crazy stuff on here. That's one sprue. Now the other sprue is pretty much the demon side of him. Look, there's his wings. There's another wing that side. That's how big the sprue is. Look. Oh my. I think that's part of the blade. I'm not sure. But this top of the wing, there's all these bits here. Sorry, all these bits here go on the end of the wings. You've got his tail, which is, again, there's one side there, there's the other side there. Wow. And of course his base. But it all comes in a box, like the Rogal Dawn. A box inside of a box. Anyway, I'm going to finish setting up and then come back and we'll start with the first few pieces. Right, so there's two sprues, obviously. We'll call one sprue the winged sprue, which has the wings on it, and this one is the body sprue. Okay, so the first piece we need, number 10, which is his front piece, and number 9, which is his back piece. I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and then we'll show you how they go together. Right, so this piece, the little holes there, yeah, there's these little holes there. That's where they line up. But the Caesar's way, there's all fur at the bottom here. The fur goes at the bottom, so that lines up. It's a little bit fiddly to get on first, but look, there we go, nice and easy. Okay, so I'm going to glue that in, and then yeah, I'm going to glue that on, and then I'm going to come back to the next pieces. And next two bits on the wing sprue, we're going to need 11 and 12, which are the two tail pieces. So this is number 12, this is number 11. And let's stick those down, clean those down, and show you how they go together. Now again, there's little holes there, yeah, and there's little bits that stick out. And it literally, if you go over this corner piece here, this triangle piece, that slots in there. Yeah, and that helps line it all up. Nice and easy. So I'm going to glue that together, and once I've put the glue in there, I'm going to run along the edge like here. You'll see there's a little join line, so I'll get rid of that. And like any sort of join line along here, I'll get rid of as well. And then I'll show you where it goes. Okay, this is a little bit fiddly because the instructions are going to show you this. So it's a good thing I'm doing this video for you guys. But see, there's two little sort of semicircles there, yeah, just underneath here. You look at the tail, there's two little bits that stick up. They just slot in there. Like that. And then it glues onto there. You see the connection here? Yeah, the connection there. Okay, that's how it goes in. So I'm going to glue that on and then set that to one side. Right. So I've had to leave that to one side to dry. Already, I'm not too pleased with some of the connections. Like with the tail to the body, that's a very small area of connection. So before I even put the legs onto that, I have to leave that probably a day to make sure it's properly cured and it's properly welded together. It's not a big issue. Next one we need is number 13. So on the legs now. So again, I can't put it on because it's not ready yet. I don't want it to mess up. The only thing I would have said with the body itself, I would have preferred some sort of little connector that goes through that the legs just push into either side, and the tail pushes in the back. That would probably be better, but so far I'm very pleased with it. Just apart from that little weak connection point of the tail, but I know when the legs go in, that's going to seal the whole thing together. So I can't grumble about it because it's still a very amazing sculpt and still very good. Look, I've just spotted. That's his tongue, because he can have his mouth open with his tongue sticking out. Anyway, So number 13 is what we need, this one here. We also need some other pieces, which is number 14, which I don't think is on this sprue. Nope, it's not on the sprue. But anyway, I'm going to take 13 off, yeah, its leg, because there's things you have to add to this first before you add the other side to it. And then when you've added the other side, then you add things to that, to both of them, and that's his leg done. But anyway, I'm going to clean this off, take this off, clean it down, and then get ready for the next pieces. Right, so he's all cleaned down. What I need now for this guy is on the wing sprue. I need number 14, which is this little piece down here, yeah, and number 17, which is this piece here. Okay, so I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and come back and show you where they go. Now this is a little bit fiddly, but very straightforward. So there's 4 holes there. This literally just sits there like that. Okay, and then his claw, number 17, the little claw is. See, I didn't even clean it up yet. That just sits in there. Okay, it's a square. There's a square peg on it. There's a square hole. So we're going to clean these 2 pieces down and glue them in, and come back to you for the next piece. Alright, so now we're back to the weapon sprue. We need number 15, which is this bad boy here. Okay, so there's his sword. This is the one. I would say, every time I see that, it's absolutely beautiful. Even that little line in the middle there is going to be such a great thing to paint. But anyway, I'm going to clean this off, take it off, and show you where it goes. Right, so basically, there's little holes in this one, yeah, as you can see. And there's little pins in this one. And they literally just, look, you see that triangle, the arrows on him, literally just slots in like that. So you will have the gap, because there's a bit that goes over that joins the 2. And here's the other foot's going. So I'm going to glue that bit on, and then come back for the next piece. Right, so back to the wing sprue again. We need number 18, which is this one here. Yeah, this little knuckle joint. That goes in exactly the same as the other one. And we need number 16, which is this bad boy here. So I'm going to snip that off, clean it down, and number 18, and then show you where they both go. Right, this is very straightforward. The claw goes in, same as the other one. Square peg into a square peg. Yeah. And this is the easiest one. There's a diamond shaped peg, there's an E. There's a diamond shaped peg there that just slots in there. Okay. So I'm going to glue those bits on and come back to you for the next bit. Our next piece needed is number 20, which is this piece here. Back onto the weapon sprue. There's a sword, there's where the leg is. I'm going to slip it down, clean it off, take it off, clean it down, and come back for the next piece. It's pretty much the same as the first one, but I'll show you the bits on how they go on. Again, like you can see, 2 holes and 2 holes. It's pretty much the same. It goes in his foot there, but I'll show you where they are and everything else. Right, so the next 2 pieces are back on the wing sprue. Number 21, which is this little bad boy here, and number 26, which is this guy. This guy goes in the same as the other 2, so I don't need to show you that one. This one again goes into the 2 holes, into the 2 holes, into the 2 holes. They line up perfectly. So again, I don't need to show you that. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and glue those into place, and come back for the next bit. Right, the next bit is obviously the other leg, number 22. So any leg that's left. And on the wing sprue, we need 25, which is this bad boy down here. Okay. The only last little knuckle joint like that. There's some more like this craziness. Anyway, I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and glue those in. Right, again, look at the triangle here. It literally just slots into there. So again, okay. So I'm going to glue that together. We'll come back for the bit that joins them. Right, the knee piece we need is number 23, which is lovely skull face, and number 24, which is this piece up in the corner on the wing sprue. But that piece, this corner piece, sits in that little triangle at the top of his head. Okay, so I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, glue those together, and again, it's the same connection that goes in to there. Okay, so I'm going to glue those on ready so I can move to the next stage. Right, so that's all done. The next piece we need is number 19, which is this lovely bit of loincloth with the world eat symbol on there, and all the chains and bits hanging down off him. So I'm going to snip that off, clean it down, and I'll come back and show you where it goes. Okay, so now the bit that I'm really nervous about is getting these legs on. The reason I'm nervous about that is because if you could do it slightly wrong, it won't line up with the foot on the base, it'll look a bit weird. It'll still be playable, you still can use it, but they've made it very easy. There's cameras, there we go, there's 3 little bits sticking out, and there's a little hole. So there's one that fits in, 2 little holes there. So that literally just slots in like that. Now there is a little gap at the back there, but I presume there's something that's going to be hanging off of him. So there's that leg. Now this leg, same thing again. I'm knocking the horn, silly boy. Same thing again. As you can see, that should, let me figure it out properly. Go on like that. Okay. Pretty much slots in. There's a little square hole back again. I presume there's something else go in there. Now, so that's Daemon there. Now this is this bit here. There's a little triangle bit, and there's that bit there. That literally just slots in there. Okay. Now there is an order to put this in. Thankfully, GW put a number on what one goes in first. So the first one that goes in is this side, okay? Then it's the middle piece, then it's this side. There's a few builds, Catan Void Dragon, for example, it says this, that on. And it doesn't tell you what particular order to put it on, it's only when you start getting into it you realise the order goes in. So I'm going to glue those bits on and then come back to you. Not done that. And here we are. So every bit, even that front bit, like, connects into that bit. The other thing that makes me a little bit nervous, look at the picture there. It doesn't look exactly the same, but that all fits in. Doesn't mean I've done it wrong. Just means I might be looking at it and overthinking it. I think that's what it is. But I need to leave it dry for a minute, and we'll come back and start looking at the next pieces then. I'll tell you what, whilst that's drying, I'm going to jump ahead and build his base. So I need number 1, which is this piece. I need number 2, which is this piece. I need number 3, which is this crazy ass piece. Number 4, which is a big massive piece. And number 5, which is that piece. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and come back and show you how they go together. Right, so I've got his base parts glued up. Not glued up, sorry, cleaned up. Now this is very confusing when you're looking at it because there's so many different parts. You meant to start with this piece here, and another piece, and it's very confusing. This is the best way to do it. Take this big piece and this other piece, that slots in there. Yeah, we'll slot in. There we go. Okay, then you take this piece and that slots in there, like so. Now you've got the basis for it to sit down on the rocks. I'm going to glue these pieces together, and we'll come back and put the last 2 pieces onto it. Right, so the next piece we need is this piece. Now you'll see there's 2 little pins there, and there's 2 little close holes that are right there. If it focuses in, so it's stupid. And they basically just slot in. You can see where I'm trying to put them in, just to blow my finger there. They just slot in like that. There's a little bit of fiddling around with. Sorry, knocking out the camera. Now you've got this nice piece. Yeah? So I'm going to glue that in place and come back for the last piece. Right, so this last piece has a square in it. It's very simple. there's a little curve here that just hooks on there. See this bit here, the skull is, it hooks on there. Best way to do it, turn upside down, you can see that it lines up perfectly. Yeah, so I'm going to glue that bit on and come back to the next two pieces that go onto this piece. So the next pieces we need, number 6, which is a big massive pile of skulls, and number 7, which is right next to the axe, another pile of skulls. I'm going to snip them off, clean them down, and I'll show you where they go. Right, so number 6, this is very, very straightforward. Turn upside down, number 6, slots in there like that. So I'm going to glue that piece on, and then come back and show you where number 7 goes. Right, so number 7 slots in here. It's a bit fiddly to get in. Without dropping off. Come on. Slots in like that. Yeah? I think it does anyway. Doesn't really give a good angle. A second. No, it doesn't. It goes that side, I think. Yeah, it goes this side. Oh, dearie me. So he goes in. There he goes. On that end there. So I'm going to glue that on, and then I'm going to glue this to the base because I want all this to sit flat. So I'm going to glue that on, glue this to the base, and I'll come back to you then, guys. Right, so I actually went ahead and put them onto the base. Okay, now this back leg, I was about 3mm off from getting it in the hole properly. Maybe even 2mm. So what I've done is I put the front one in. See, perfect. And I just trimmed the square off, just snipped the square off the back of his foot and glued his foot directly to the stone. So it's on there nicely. Absolutely fantastic. So now I can go back to the next pieces needed. Actually, no. Let me go with the next piece, actually, which is on the base. Yeah, I had that out of the way first of all. I did see on this sprue, there it is. Number 8. Okay, now it's supposed to go somewhere over here, but I don't think it matters where you put it. Put it over this side if you want, just to more skulls around him. I am going to add it over this side just to, I think, make it look better, more and more skulls there. I'm going to snip that off, clean it down, and just glue it straight on, and then I'll find the next pieces and come back to you again. Right, the next two pieces we need are number 27 and number 28. 28 goes this side and 27 goes that side, but there's a little square there. We want to keep that because that fills the little gap. Yeah, it's a little gap there. That's 27 goes there, 28 goes the other side. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and they just slot in there. It's very straightforward. I'm going to glue them in. I'll come back to you for the next piece. The next pieces are 29, which is on the wing sprue, and 30, which is his back piece there. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and show you how they go together. This piece is a bit of a pain, but it basically just sits in like that. Okay, so it just sits on there like so, nice and easy. The holes underneath like that. So I'm going to glue that in and then come back and show you where it goes. Right, so this is so simple. See, look at, let me get closer. You see this area of his back? That just slots in there. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on, and we'll come back and start looking at the next piece. Right, next piece we need is number 31, which is this lovely piece here. It's right next to the sword. So I'm going to snip that off, clean that down, and we'll come back and show you where it goes. Right, it's very simple. This funny shaped pattern with a little triangle bit, if it doesn't zoom in, focus, goes in the back here. Literally sits on it like that. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on. Right, so this is the really confusing part of this model. He's got 3 different face variants. Okay, 2 of them sticking their tongue out, and 1 with just teeth. So I'm looking on here. It doesn't tell me the number I need for just teeth. Okay, I think it's number 36. Which anyway, I need number 32, which is this piece here, which is top part of his head. Yeah, and I'll need, it's showing me number 36, which is this piece over here. Oh, knocking the camera, this piece here. As you can see, there's 2 little holes at the top. That's where the face sauce is. I'm going to snip those 2 pieces off and glue them together, and I'll come back to you then. There we are, that's very fiddly. But there's 2 little holes at the top of his jawline, and the top of the head slots into that. Right, so I think I need number 38 and 39. Which was, let's locate them first. But there's 39. This is the top of the head, that's the top of the butcher's nails. Look at that. Yeah. And number 38. There's some more butcher's nails, which I'm looking for. I think they're on this sprue. What's on this one? Yeah, there they are. Not the camera again. Next to the sword. This one right here. So I'm going to snip that off and snip the other one off. Gently clean them down and show you where they go. Right, so this piece here, there's a little bit there. It slots in the top here. Bring it up so I can show you. There is a little groove in the middle there, that little piece. It just slots onto there. So I'm going to glue that on, and we'll kind of show you the next pieces. This one's very easy. There's 3 holes. See them? 1, 2, 3. And you've got these 3 sides. There's 2 sides of this one that's really close together, one that's furthest apart. The one that's furthest apart glues into there. Okay. Now on the instructions it's saying that goes on there and then the head goes in, so that's the way I'm going to do it. Right, so that was very fiddly to get on. Now I'm going to put his head on. His head should slot in there, like so. Okay, so yeah, that's put it underneath there. But I'm going to glue that on and I'll come back. So here we have him. Yeah, very good looking chap. Some detail on this. I'm still not happy with this bit though. I would prefer if there was some sort of bar between there so you just push bits into. But anyway, the next piece that we need is on the wing sprue, and we need number, let's look at numbers properly. I do right side. We need number 40 and 42. There's number 42. Okay, and number 40 is this piece here, and we need number 41, which is the wing side, which should be this one here. That's the number. Where are we? Yeah, this one here. So this wing, this piece here, and number 42 here. Yeah, I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, come back and show you how they go together. Right, this is actually very straightforward. So here's the wing. That just slots in there like that. Yeah, up to that top bit there. Yeah, then this piece comes in, just slots in there. So I'm going to glue that together. Okay, make sure that there's a horrible join line between them. I'm going to get rid of that join line as well, and I'll come back and show you the next part. The next piece we need is very straightforward. 42, 43, sorry, 44, 43, 44, 45 and 46. Now I wouldn't clip them all off and clean them all down. I'd take one off, clip it, clean it, and where it goes is in the top here, into this little bit. Okay, so there's a little connection. It just slots in there, but so that's what I'm going to work away and do. I'll show you how the first one goes on, and then I'll just carry on with the rest of them. But literally, that's the top one. the next one down, next one down, next one down, okay? And these are going to be for the other wing. I'm only going to show you this one because it's very simple. It literally just slots in like that, okay? So I'm going to glue that on. The next one's the same, next one's the same, all the way down. So I'm going to glue the first one on and then carry on with the rest of them. Come back to you then. There we go. Very easy, very simple. I'll put him down for a minute. Now, the next wing is exactly the same, but we need this one, the wing obviously, should be number 48, which is this one here, and then number 50, which is the one here. And again, these are the ones that we use. This is the top one. Top, next one, next one, next one. So I don't need to show you how to do it because I've already done this. So I'm going to clip these off, clean it down, glue it together, and then come back to you with the next piece. Right, so next is putting the wing on. So there's a few connector points, as you see. There's a few connector points in there. But it basically sits on up here, like that. Okay. So the top of that lines up the top of there. Yeah. And there is a few little bits to try and get into the right holes. But this is where plastic glue comes in. So I'm going to glue that on and I'm going to come back and show you where the other wing goes. This is one of those bits that really frustrates me. It should line up this side here, okay? There's a little tiny gap, but it's not going to really matter because when I put the arm in there, you're not going to see it. But it should be something like that. It's just a pain in the hole. I does not want to stick at all. And I'm going to carry on trying to hold it in place. Right, that is a pain in the hole to put on. It just does not want to stick, does not want to hold. I use plastic glue, super glue, it doesn't want to hold. Eventually it's taken. So I'm not going to mess around and put the other wing on now, as the instructions told me. I'm going to leave that to dry for like, well, actually going to leave that to dry for a day and then come back with the other one. But what I'm going to do now is start putting the weapons together. Now there is some pipes that go from that to the body and that will hold it a bit better, but it's just, I don't really mess around with that wing now that it's taken. Hopefully when I come in here tomorrow, it's not going to be on the table here, it's actually going to be stuck to him. But let's move forward to the next part. We're going to have his axe, which is number 57. I don't want us to sprue to knock the wing because I don't want it to come off. Number 57. We also need, on the wing sprue, number 56 and 59. So there's 59, small one, okay, it's 59 there. And 56 is this bad boy here. So it's this one and this one, and his axe. I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and show you how they go together. Right, so far so good. Now this axe is easy to get off the sprue. There's a bit on here you need to be careful of. See, I still haven't even got it all, this bit here. I'm going to go back and start cleaning it up again. There's a lot of, as you can see if we make those out, there's a lot of mould lines along the top there. So it's a bit more in there I need to get to. It's a lovely weapon though. But I'm going to show you how it goes together. I'll go back and give this a little clean over again. So this bit, the long arm, slots in there. You can see there's two holes. And there's holes, there's little mouths that side, they just pop into there. Okay. Then this one lines up, pretty simple. The hair lines up with the hair, and it just slots on there. Okay. Very, very simple. Just slots on nice and easy. Just off the wing, don't fall off. So I'm going to go back and clean the axe a bit more. I'm going to move this out of the way because I don't want to knock it at all. And I'll come back to you and show you the next parts to add to the axe. Right, next one we need is back to the wing sprue. It's number 58, which is this weird looking thing in the corner here. I'm going to snip it off, clean it down and show you where it goes. Right, so on the axe, that's where it is. It's a little round bit there and the round bit that side. On this there's a round bit that's top and around a bit at the bottom. That just glues on there like so. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on, and then we'll come back for the next part. No, forget that, I got that wrong. It's not that side. It goes on that side, right there. Okay, literally just slots in there. I don't know why I thought it was that side. The instructions are telling me. Oh, okay, I see now. So the picture on the instructions is showing me this side like this. And it's showing me that this goes on here. But it's not, it goes underneath. Okay, so that's where it's confused. I'll show you what the instructions are telling me. Yeah, that's where the confusion is. But anyway. So I'm going to glue that on and then come back and show you the next piece. Now what we need from the wing sprue is number 60, which is this piece here, and number 61, which is this piece here. I'm going to take them off, clean them down, and show you where they go. Right, so the first part, this is number 60, the little arm piece. There's 4 little holes in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. It just sits on there. Okay, brings it all together nicely. And this one, pick it up. This one goes the other way around. So if I get the way around, just have a little piece that starts in that little hole there, yeah, and starts around into there. Okay, so I'm going to glue those on, and then we'll come back for the other arm. Right, we're almost on the home stretch. 63 is the first piece of the arm we need, and obviously this disconnects itself. Come on, it's going right today. There. We need the sword arm. Okay, there's 2 pieces that we need, so I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and come back and show you how they go together. It's very straightforward. That just slips on there like that. Very, very straightforward. Obviously there's going to be some join lines I need to sort out. Focusing. There's one there, see it? So I'm going to glue that on and then come back and show you the piece that goes with it. Right, the 2 bits left to complete this arm. Number 64, it's an amazing piece here. And the wing sprue, number 65. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down and show you how they go onto the arm. So it's pretty much the same. There's 4 little squares, 4 little knots on there, 4 little holes on there. That goes on there. Let me drop in here. Make sure the arm piece is on the right way. This little piece goes to the bottom. There's a little piece going there. That just slots into that little gap there. See where it connects? Yeah. So I'm going to glue those on and then come back and see the next piece. Right. I got a funny feeling these guys are going to be as much problems as the wings are. So I think if I put this guy on first, how does he go? There you go, wing goes up like that. It goes in there like that. Yeah. Nice and easy. That's actually pretty much, that should actually yeah, that should be nice and easy because it's not even glued and it's sitting there by himself. So I'm going to glue that in and leave it to dry and then come back and show you the next piece. Right, so that other wing's on. Now the arms are meant to go, well, there's meant to be a pipe that goes from each wing into this little circle thing under his backpack. I would imagine that helps join them together, but I don't want to mess around with that. I'd rather leave that to dry. I've got a funny feeling I'm going to have the same problems with the arms. So I think the best thing to do is leave it to dry and then tomorrow glue one of the arms on and start working on the next pieces because, well, say that, but the next pieces are his chest piece and all these head pieces and all, you know, all that sort of craziness. But it's almost finished, guys. So I'm going to leave that to dry overnight. I might get these on in the morning before I go to work. I don't know yet. See how I am for time in the morning. But anyway, I'll see you in a minute. I dry fitted the sword, perfect. I'm dry fitting this and it doesn't seem to go in properly. But I've looked at the picture of him, and all of this has covered up with shoulder pad, so you haven't got to worry too much. But I see where the mistake is. That little piece there has been overshot slightly. So let me get my little. So that piece there is just overshot. It should be in line with this curved piece. But it's perfect on the top, perfect at the back there. So that's just. But I did have problems with this wing because it's back heavy, unfortunately. But the sword arm, it's on there perfect. So I'm going to glue the sword arm on first, and then I'm going to glue this arm on. But just be aware when you're putting that wing on, that needs to line up with that curve. So as it comes up to the curve, it comes to the bottom of that wing part. But it is a pain in the backside. But with that said, wait until when you're building yours, you'll see by the end of this video, the shoulder pad should cover up any little mistake there. And if it doesn't, and if there's a little tiny gap, I can always put a bit of green stuff in there. It's not a big issue, or hang some skulls off him or whatever. It's not a big issue. But actually, no, I'm not going to glue these on first. The first thing I'm going to do is there's some pipes that go from his back into the little circle thing here. So I'm going to find those on the sprue and show you where they are, and then we'll put them on. Right, this is the wing sprue. Yeah, this is the wing sprue. I think this is the last piece we're going to need from here, because all that's left is like the tongue and the extra pipes that go on the heads. One or two of these might go on the body, I'm not sure yet, but anyway, we need number 55, which is this one. Okay. And number 47. Then number 47 goes on this side, and number 55 goes on that side. So I'm going to snip them off, give them a clean down with a sanding sponge. I tell you, the sanding sponge, especially for these pipes, have come into its own because it's so handy on them. And then I'll show you how they go on. Right. But not on the camera, because that's slightly off. It's slightly off here. Pain in the ass. That's meant to go in. I believe it's meant to go into the little heart there, and slot into the little hole on the bottom here. It's not necessary. I don't necessarily need it. The other one is supposed to. Where's the hole for that one? Cannot see that one either. Okay, so that's not actually necessary. It's supposed to be a hole here somewhere on the wing, but I can't see anything. How bizarre. And this wing's in perfect. You can see it's lined up perfect there. It's perfect at the back here. That's a bit bonkers, that is. It's not an optional piece. These are meant to go on, but I can't see where they're meant to go on. So I don't know. Bizarre. So anyway, I'm going to get on with the sword and glue the sword onto him, and then mess around gluing the axe on. I've already shown you how they dry fit on, so there's no need to show you that. Then I'll come back and show you what goes on next. Right, so as you can see, I've got his arm on. I'm not going to try and do the other one for a minute, so leave him on that to dry. But what I'm going to do is start with the next pieces, which is number 66, which is lovely chest piece, and number 69, which is this bit that goes over top of his head. I'm going to sit those down, clean those down, and show you where they go. Right, so this headpiece is this triangular there. It just slots on top of his head like that, in that sort of position. Yep, it does. Yep, so it connects there, and it connects that side. Sort of craziness like that. Right, that goes there. And the chest piece, as you can guess, there are 3 little bits in there, and there are 3 holes on his chest. I literally just, it's going to be a 50 one to get in, but it literally just lines up in there. I'll get it in, but it just goes down in front of him there. Anyway, I'm going to glue them off. It going to glue them off camera and come back to you for the next piece. So here's where I'm at. Now under the wing there, you see there's a little tiny gap. That's where the wing is slightly in the wrong place. Now because I've made that mistake on this model, you guys won't make the same mistake. You'll see where that, because when you put that wing on, it slots into the position I have it in, but it's slightly wrong. It's just off by a touch at the front here, which puts the rest of it off. But there's going to be a shoulder pad that goes on his shoulder there. That's all the holes, the 3 holes in the shoulder are for, and it will sit here with tassels coming down either side. But there's still a bit of gap there. But the easiest way for me to sort that gap out, once I have the shoulder pad on, is to glue some skulls there. To make it look like they're on top of the shoulder, or just off to the shoulder. It's absolutely fantastic. The wings keep knocking stuff. And I just keep thinking the arm's coming off, and it's not. Sitting here for half an hour just trying to hold it in place. This whole side just gave me problems, the wing and this arm. Anyway, I'm going to just go off camera and just keep holding this bad boy for a little while, and then I'll bring the next pieces to show you. There's actually one other option. So I'll put them down. If his arm comes off now, yeah, I'll get the hot glue onto him and hot glue the arm into place. That's the other option. Put that little gap, it's just to hot glue it. Or if you have bits of old sprue, you could put them in some acetone, 24 hours, they turn like a goo. You put some greaseproof paper down, scoop some out, put it on the greaseproof paper, and use your little tool, or use a little small scraping tool, lollipop stick could do. Pick up the glue and just fill the gap a bit. Okay, and as it dries the solid plastic. That's the other option. So either way, his arm's going on. Even that gap now, I will probably just squirt a little bit of hot glue in there, just to, because that will dry instantly. And then when that's dry, well, not instantly, it dries after a minute or so. When that's dry, I will then take some super glue and just run the super glue over the top of it, just to seal it again. And then once it's sprayed down, it'll be fine. Anyway, so the next pieces we need, right, it's telling me number 67 and number 68. But there's 67, it's a bit of pipe work, and number 68 is this piece here. Now these pieces, I'm not even going to attempt to put them on yet, but these pieces go from the front of his armor plate to the back of his backpack, round his ribs. So as you can imagine, I'm not even going to attempt to put them on. So we're going to move to the next piece, which is number 70, which is this lovely bit. Now there's 3 little things here, they're to stay. Snipped away from the sprue, but these 3 things come off the bottom bar at the bottom here, they're to stay because they slot into his top of his head guard thing. So I'm going to snip that off, clean that down, and then glue it on. Well, I'll show you where it goes, and then glue it on and move to the next piece. Right, so I cheated. I filled it with hot glue. Yeah, there's a little wispy bit there, I can see. But let's take that off now when it's dry. So this piece, it sits on top of his head. Okay, there's 3 little holes in there, and there's 3 little holes that it goes into. Nice and easy, like so. Okay, so I'm going to glue that into place. I'm going to clean that little wispy bit off. A little wispy bit there. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. I can see it, so I'm going to clean that off. So then we can say, you're a cheater. Well, to be honest, this is a very hard model to build. Not the whole thing, just this side of the wing and the arm. But anyway, I'll give you my final thoughts of it at the end. But I'm going to clean that, snip that little wispy bit off, glue that on, and we'll come for the next piece. Right, next piece we need is number 71, which is his necklace of chains. So I'm going to snip that off carefully and use the sanding sponge, because this is a sanding sponge job because of how easy that could break. But also let you know, I've also covered the hot glue with super glue, just so it's all sealed up now. Once it's sprayed down, that'll seal it even more. I'm going to snip that off, clean it down, and come back and show you where it goes. Right, so this piece actually sits around his neck, like so. Okay, so it connects in that side, yeah, and it connects to the other side, and it hangs around from his neck. So I'm going to glue that into place and come back and we'll look at the next piece. There's one trick I want to show you here. So I've glued this into place, yeah, the chain, but it keeps sort of sliding down. It's stuck on there, but it keeps sliding. So what I'll do is use my mold line scraper to give it a little nudge and just push it back into place, because it won't stick to the mold line scraper because it's metal and that's plastic glue. But there we are, chain hanging off, looking absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to get some paint onto that. Again, let it slid down again, so all I need to do, give it a little nudge. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to hold this in this position for a little while, leave it to dry, start to cure. If it starts to go down again, I'll just give it a little nudge, put it back into place, and then we'll come back to his shoulder pads. Right, so what we need now is his shoulder pad stuff. This is for his shoulder pad with the axe arm. That's not the model, Jesus. So we need number 73, which is this little tabard piece. Okay, this piece here, 73, 74, which is this piece here, and number 72, which is this big welded symbol and this teeth and everything else. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and then I'll show you how they go together. Right, so here's this piece. Okay, this is the shoulder piece. You'll notice there's three bits that stick out. They go into his shoulder. There's two little holes that side, two little holes that side, and the way this works is this one has two little holes that just slot into there. Okay, that's number 73, and this is number 74, sorry, and 74 goes in that side. Okay, now you can't get them mixed up because the holes are distinctive distance apart. So one will go in one, and you look, if you try and put it in the other one, it won't, it looks weird. So I'm going to glue those on, and then we'll see how it goes on. Well, I'm going to glue them onto him, onto the shoulder pad, and glue the shoulder pad onto the shoulder, and we'll see how it looks. That actually went in so easy. Look, most of it, the hot glue is hidden. So that's, well, not most of it, but a piece of it's hidden, so there's not a big issue there. That actually looks fantastic. And if you glued the bits into the shoulder pad, and then straight, like pushed them into place, and then glued the shoulder pad straight on. So now, the last pieces of this model that are needed: 75, which is this half piece; 77, which is this piece; and number 76, yeah, so it's this piece. So 76, which is this piece, that goes on the right hand side of this side of the shoulder pad. That's shoulder pad we need as well, and we need number 77. So exactly the same as the other one. I'm going to snip them off, clean them down, glue them on, and glue them onto your shoulder pad, and we'll come back and have a look at the final model. So here we are. Absolutely beast of a monster. This model is fantastic. Now, with that said, it's also a pain in the ass. There's a few things I want to point out where I messed up and my thoughts about everything to do with this model. The first thing is I messed up on the leg slightly, just by a couple of millimeters, but that's an easy fix. Okay. The reason I glued the model to the base first of all, because the instructions tell you to glue it last to the base. The reason I did it first of all is because I wanted to make sure this all lined up. Rather than having it like this and it doesn't line up, then I've got to mess around with it. So But when you're putting it together, if you follow the way that I did it, put the legs in, have the base done already, then put the legs in and then pull it in. Because if you're using plastic glue, if it's slightly off, you can just adjust it by giving a little nudge and let it slot in and then adjust it. The other thing is, there should have been a bar or something in the middle there. Now, my thoughts on this, there should have been a bar that the wings pop into, okay? Then that pops into the back of his armour. So the wings come out at the side, and then the armour goes on top, and then the front part of the armour and the back part of the armour connect. That's how it should have been. Now, it's not like that. So this wing is slightly off, just under the connection under the shoulder pad there. Because of that, I had to hot glue the whole in. But once it's had paint on, you're not going to notice none of that at all. And when I paint it, I'll point out to you that's where the hot glue is. So you'll see you can't see nothing. Now, back in the day, this would have been full lead, and it would have been a bitch to build, because you would have to have drilled it and pinned it and really done a lot of work to it. But like things like the head, you know, the butcher's nails and the head would all be in one piece that would have been glued on. This arm would have been one piece that glued on, but again, you would have had to pin that on. But anyway, I'm very happy with this build. Finally finished him. He's only been out, I think it's 2 weeks. So guys, thank you for watching. If this video's helped you in any way, either to give you confidence to build this model, or to, you know, you're going to build him, but just you see the few mistakes that I've made, you don't make those mistakes, it saves you a bit of messing around. You know, I've lost my trail of thought because there's someone in the yard there. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope it helps you. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, because it costs you guys nothing, but it helps the channel out in a massive, massive way, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything in future. Any comments or suggestions about this video and to build on this model, chuck it below. I respond to all messages. Guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to bring you down and show you some pretty pictures. Until next time, take it easy.